Alright, so our final match of the week here in Ether Raids is a rematch against this Crom Japanese player here. We're going to go ahead and use the team that we've been using for the majority of the week to wrap things up. Edelgard, this looks like her turn yet again. I just got to set it up so that she can initiate on the lanes that I need to be working on here. I'm going to take out that Alm and the Medius. Get them out of the way, and then take it from there. Probably could also sweep this with Dimitri as well, but that would be the easy option. We're gonna go with the Edelgards here just for fun, just to close things out. I do have to smite onto that trap though, just to get that off the board. The heavy trap, it will do damage to me, but not to them. And then from there, I'll figure it out on the following turns. Overall, I would say it's been a pretty successful week. Did take, like 2 losses, I think? Maybe 3, yeah. Not that would really matter in terms of the grand scheme of things. It's always good to see what your team loses against so that you can make adjustments accordingly. Now, if you're losing like all of your ladders, then you have a very, very big problem and you need to figure that out. More than likely, it's your units need updating, as well as probably strategizing in terms of like how you're initiating stuff like that. That like when I was just playing, that was really my main issue. Trying to figure out how to break teams down without losing a unit, getting sniped, and then also winning the matchups, because Reinhardt was everywhere when I was just getting into Ether Raids, and I didn't have a counter for Reinhardt or a counter for no counter disrupt. No, wind sweep. No, what do you call that one? Fire sweep.
It will be done.
I didn't have a counter for fire sweep, so it was hard to get into Ether Raids until I had those things fully under control. What I ended up doing was just building up my Brave Edelgard, and she basically kept me in the vault for at least 2 years in terms of offense matchups. She just won everything up until Sigurd, Legendary Sigurd came out. Then she started getting clapped, but once she got her refined and I put a little bit more investment into her, she was able to do much better in terms of Sigurd lines. But yeah, just gotta find a unit to invest into, and then you should be fine in terms of just making it through Ether Raids. I'd probably recommend the Edelgard because they're so easy to use, winter and summer. But if you don't have one or the other, you can probably make adjustments accordingly. I remember I had this team with some Rashida, Plumeria, Ninjurin, plus just a couple of other units that could just take a bunch of dual actions and just keep going. And that team did really well. The problem was that I had to keep re-blessing it to be able to use it in every season, and I realized that that just was not sustainable. So yeah, I had to scrap that team. And also, Sheeta started falling off in terms of being able to kill things. She can still do that because she does have the effective against pretty much everything. It's just that her attack stat is a little bit low, so she does need some investment.
It will be done.
Nonetheless, we are here with new units who can just do the same thing but even better. Dimitri, for example, here. I didn't get hit by... Well, I did get hit by a winter Edelgard this week, which on defense, which is expected. I was expecting a little bit more in terms of dual Byleth, but I only saw, I think, 1. But yeah, man, things went okay on defense. Not too disappointed or anything. It's pretty much, I feel like I have the worst luck when it comes to defense because I'm always losing at least 3 or 4 matches every week, and there's like nothing that I can do about it. No matter what I put out, I'm guaranteed to lose at least 4 matches. It's just bad luck because a lot of it is down to the matchups that you come across, and I don't know if it's just like I just match against the wrong people at the wrong time. I see a lot of people just get like perfect weeks. But yeah, a lot of it, like I look at their defense and it's not like that much better than mine. It's just that
What is it?
a lot of the times it's just down to who you match into and what they've brought. And I just, luck of the draw, man. I always end up with the straw, the short straw, or the bad luck in that situation. So yeah, pretty typical week. A lot of good in terms of Nino did really, really well. She'll definitely be sticking around in terms of like just being a unit that I'll turn to for defensive play. I realize that green units are getting a big spike in power.
It will be done.
Out of nowhere. Green units kind of fell off, and then we had a couple of them like recently. We had Ascended Sed, Rearmed Sonia, Nino, and now this legendary legendary Camilla, who does a lot of good stuff. And I'm forgetting Robin as well, but I mean Robin did also kind of fall off, legendary Robin, but he also kind of fell off. So yeah, there's a lot of powerful green units in the game currently. I'd say blue is probably the weakest color right now in terms of just being able to kill things. Blue mage, weakest color. I can't really think of any off the top of my head that are just like 1v1 absolutely wreck you. There is Dual Shamir, who's just out of this world good, but in terms of a mage version of that, there really isn't anything that comes to mind that's just like absolutely broken. Whereas in the green pool, there's quite a few mage infantry flyers, whatever you want to label them as, that are just quite powerful, as well as bow units. So there are quite a few green bow units that are also really powerful. And then you can't forget Wind Tribe Claude, of course. So green is really strong. Blue falling off, which is kind of weird because red has seen a resurgence in terms of the Omni tanks and everything, but red is also like not the best color to be running in terms of just gameplay overall if you're planning a tank or whatever it is, because there's so many. Green is actually stronger than red, which is crazy. But yeah, that's just where the game is right now. I'm really looking out for like because I love my ranged nukes. I'm really looking out for a new one to put on defense, another blue one, just to give me some variety. Variety is always important to have. Let me think. The big thing that are holding back ranged nukes is the legendary Veronica effect enclosure. They do need a way to pierce through damage reduction. I mean, you do have it for infantry units, and I guess you have it now with Camilla in terms of having, but you need it full out, like what Veronica does, to be like top tier. In terms of red, I mean, you do have like Kanoka and stuff, but red is actually pretty strong. Don't get it twisted, but I still think that green is actually just a little bit ahead. And then colorless, I don't know. I don't really think there's anything like too terrifying in colorless aside from your typical bow unit that has Deadeye. Nothing really comes to mind. I mean, I've been trying to build my Celica for the longest time now, Ascended, but she has fallen off quite a bit without Catra. She definitely needs the quad to be able to kill most things. So yeah, we're gonna pin Horseboy here, Leaf in the corner, and then we'll pretty much be done. Pretty much exactly how I planned it here. Yeah, man, you can't be going into these defense matches without having a near save. That's really something that Summer Edelgard taught me the hard way. I think she wrecked my defense for like 3 weeks. This Edelgard after Edelgard after Edelgard, and I was just getting demolished. So I had to, I swapped out to Brave Hector, and that kind of stemmed it for a little bit, but then right after that we got the Brave units, the horses, and Seliph, wrecks Vector, but some extra content coming, hold on. Alright, let's do some bonus stuff. We're going to go ahead and review the defense real quick. Just a quick overview here of the outcomes here. Literally just got match number 10. Typically, as I said before, we usually get like 11. This is the team for this week. Basically the same thing that I ran last Dark Season. The only thing is that Nino is bonus here, and she puts in quite a bit of work this week. I ended up doing something a little bit different though. Normally I run Takumi there. As you can see, Takumi's in this setup, which I did use once. Only once though, because Kadean Nino doesn't necessarily do the most damage these days. I need to invest a little bit more into her attack before I can run her safely. But I did switch the Takumi out for the dual Byleth, the new Byleth here. And he basically just got unfortunately clapped because, as you know, as you get further up in the tiers and Ather raids, it does get a little bit more challenging in terms of the opponents that you face. And I did run into a lot more challenging opponents. The problem with the Takumi was that Robin was bonus, and he doesn't do very well in terms of killing Robin, and also he was getting completely outsped by this Nino, so I had to figure out something to help him out in terms of the matchups here, because bonus Nino was absolutely just destroying him, and he had no way to counter her. There are some instances, I mean, if the Nino is on merge, no Dragonflowers or stuff like that, low investment, he can outspeed, but the damage that she puts out with her pre-charge special just doesn't look too good for him. So he basically folds, and he's been folding for quite a while now. I was considering to swap him out. Without the ability to pierce damage reduction, he just isn't as good as Winter Marth, who from my stance, or at least from mine, he doesn't do that. But just wanted to show you this matchup here real quick in terms of Dimitri versus Sanaki. Now the problem here is that he doesn't have any of his weapon effects active since I didn't attack. So he pretty much gets slaughtered here. But if he did attack, he would have lived that matchup because of the panic smoke, and then it would have worked out a lot better for him there. It would have been a easy solo, but he needs to attack. Trap placements. That's important. I mean, you can get around the traps if you're patient enough, but yeah, trap placements are important. And also, that's another reason why Byleth is here, just to have some counterplay to situations like that. He works really well as a near save in certain matchups. It's just that I don't have any better far saves. And I swapped out Takumi there. I wonder how Uller does, because
very well.
one of my someone was actually telling me that Uller does really well into the Byleth, so let's see here.
It will be done.
That's actually not too bad. Not dead, but at least she's doing something. But anyways, Takumi was just losing, and I needed something to swap him out. It was just time. He had ran his course, which is crazy to say because Byleth is still, not Byleth, Winter Marth is still doing quite well, even though it's the end of the year, although he is a lot, well, they're basically on par in terms of investment. But Takumi, as I was saying, I've been running Luna on him, and Luna just isn't it. He needs something to be able to cut DR, and I think he'd pair really well with the new Camilla. The problem is that I have no orbs, as you could see, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to pull on that banner. I think that Camilla pairs well with pretty much everything, but I don't know if I'll be able to have her for Astra Anima season, because I do think I'll need the help there, even though I don't know who I'd swap her out for.
It's empty.
But yeah. I'm just doing a really quick showcase here, just to show you how good this Erica is against Byleth if he's in the front line. My Erica only has, well, she has like all the dragon flowers, but there's more that you could do to this brave Erica to make her a little bit better. You can see here, probably give her a different special, pre-charge it, and yeah, 2 HP there, and then she just absolutely destroys him. A lot of that is the armor effective damage, as well as significant amounts of help, or a significant amount of help from the defense style. But she's basically the only one here among any of the units that I have here that actually does anything to this Ballast, which is bad, because what that means is that I need to change my melee hit and run team, because I'm pretty sure that you're going to be seeing this Byleth in some capacity on the front line. So if I don't have a way to take him out, be it either far save or near save, I'm going to be in trouble. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be like using Brave Erica, or if I'm able to get Camilla in time, she might fix that problem for me, because I just put her on the hit and run team and basically be able to take him out with armor effective damage. And I also still need someone who can Gale Force, but yeah, it's that dual Byleth is a problem, man. No quarter, good skill, but need to be able to survive the hit from that Byleth, and not a lot of things are living that hit, which is why I was considering giving it to Seliph instead of giving it to my Ascended Merida, because Seliph has that built-in miracle, Brave Seliph. Anything else would just die in one hit from a counterattack from that dual Byleth. I don't know, man. It's really hard to play around these new units, man. It's really tough, especially when you have no orbs. Aside from
I understand.
Erica here,
I'm with
or that you just saw. Nana does okay, but still a little bit short.
Got it.
And then Shez here needs a guaranteed follow-up. I mean, even that, she'd probably still die, because as you can see there, she just wasn't going to live that hit. Unless she can hit 4 times without him counterattacking, maybe she'd be okay, but she also needs to be able to pierce his damage reduction, and she also needs special acceleration. Here is a good choice because of the wind sweep, which is something that I've been thinking about. If I can get wind sweep and the no quarter, maybe he could win that matchup, but he needs special acceleration, as well as yeah, he needs a little bit more investment to work in that capacity in terms of a melee hit and run team. And then there's the problem of getting him out, which I could probably fix with close call 4, but I don't know, man. I'm still in the testing phases, and that's a big investment to make. As you can see here, Nana just failing. I don't know, maybe +6 to attack buff, but yeah, that's just not a good look for Nana there. But yeah, I really like the because that matchup or that investment would secure me in terms of a lot of other melee armors or near save armors that match that profile that Byleth has. Slow armors that would get windswept. The problem is I kind of want to give him no quarter, because he's going to have a hard time against units that have damage reductions. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of investments need to be made. Hopefully that no quarter skill isn't going to be seasonal locked for too long. Hopefully it's in the ephemera codes, because that would be a big help. I mean, at least it's going to be in Hollow Forms in a couple of months, so we'll see what units come out with the skill. But for now, I don't want to let go of my one copy of Dimitri just to get the skill, because it's tough, man. And I don't have the orbs to go back in on that banner either, so it's tough. So far, from what I can see from these matchups, you definitely need something that pierces damage reduction to play into this duo Byleth, and being able to survive helps as well. Either that or just enemy phasing him, but I don't know if that's a good idea either. Oops, I kind of messed this one up. Let me restart this. But yeah, you're gonna see Marth, and I also wanted to see Shez, although I think her matchup will be pretty similar to the well, I mean, she is blue, but I don't know, I don't think I put no follow-up on the Shez, so maybe that won't work. I prefer Shez with external no follow-up, and then the lull. That lull helps her so much in terms of like just winning some speed matchups. This such an interesting interaction. Now this is a +10 Marth, so just take that into consideration. Well, +9. And I do have to give him Dragon Flowers as well, which is why I wanted to get the one that I saw in Binding Worlds, but I decided against it. Maybe next time. But yeah, he'd be able to take the rest of this on if it wasn't for the Hardy Bearing over there. But he would sweep here if it wasn't for Sanaki. He doesn't have enough HP to survive that combat. But yeah, that's just a quick overview. I feel like I prefer doing it this way instead of adding the video on the beginning of the defense replays, because it makes the defense replays so long. Maybe I'll just test this out just to see how it's received. But yeah, man, GG's. Defense replays later.